Hello everybody, welcome to another episode on the HighLevel Experience Podcast. Our guest today is a distinguished professional with a strong track record in the tech industry. He's a founder and CEO of Level Up Marketplace and Volley Campaigns, and one of only 6 high-level developer partners globally. With over 2 decades of experience leading innovative tech projects and teams at some of the world's top software companies, including significant contributions to AI development and digital transformation strategies. His insight into emerging technologies and market trends are highly sought after. By listening to today's episode, I hope that you'll get to discover how his innovative marketplace apps extend and enhance the capabilities of the HighLevel system, offering endless possibilities for customization, optimization, and revenue growth. Please welcome to the show the GHL app guy, Rupert Samuel.
Hello. That was quite an introduction, I'll be honest with you. It went on for quite a while. I'm not sure if I wrote that or you wrote that, but there was quite a bit there to that. There was, I'll be honest with you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. I try my best. You're very welcome, mate. Really good to have you here. Hey Rupert, you've done so much stuff. I've been looking at your LinkedIn profile and all the different things you've done. It's from founding the Italian bar company to leading innovative tech solutions like ManyPages and Walletly. With such a diverse portfolio.
You've done a little research on me or something. So I swear I haven't spoke about some of those things with you before.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. I got to do this, right? I got to dive into do.
I appreciate it when I can talk about some of the past things. Yeah. So I'm interested where this is going to go now. So I hope everyone else is.
Yeah, so look, with such a diverse portfolio, how has these experiences shaped your approach to business and innovation, particularly right now, in your role at Level Up Marketplace and A1 Club?
A1 Club, that's no longer a thing, but that was actually a business that sold pre-COVID. I think that's like a chapter now that people say in their lives, like pre-COVID, past. But that's a really interesting conversation, maybe if you want to have another day and stuff, but I don't know if you want to talk about NFC technology and things of that nature, but we sold that business to a company called Vice V1CE. They've gone quite big globally now with technology and everything. So
I definitely do have a question about NFC. We'll definitely dive into that because I think there's still value in this technology and it's quite powerful what it can do for businesses.
Just quickly on that. I was talking about that, right? I've got a bloody bag of stuff if I can be bothered to get it from my office here. But I was talking about NFCs before anyone else, I promise you was. And I was talking about the year prior to Apple actually announcing it as a native capability to their devices just based on me following what's going on. And I had so much kickback from people being like, no, QR codes are the thing. And I'm talking about people that now sell it and talk about it as being like a benchmark of something you need to have involved. And I think it's really interesting sometimes when you might be a little too early to the party and then you see it a few years later and then all of a sudden everyone wants in on it. But people aren't prepared to maybe break the back of something new, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, in particular, what I like is those business cards, those plastic business cards that got an NFC chip on them. You can just tap them, save people's contact. There's so many companies now selling those plastic cards.
I'm sorry.
Here we go.
I got every color.
So
I got this one dates back at least 6 or something years. I'll tell you one of the big.
And you got a QR code on it.
Oh yeah, and you got a QR code, so we're multi-dynamic. But
just for a good measure.
Do you want to show you the one thing that we did sell tens of thousands of these things, but these are stickers that you can we had custom made. They're the same size as a mobile phone, like the literal phone that you'll have as an Apple device. But on the back of them, they have the antenna and everything. But we made these so that you're able to control thousands of stickers across thousands of stores, across thousands of things, all from one software. You can just dynamically update the whole thing, put them on groups. We did things for restaurants where you could do different tables so you can know what sector of the restaurant was getting more traffic and all sorts of fun stuff. But these things, like the cards are cool. These things were on another level, I'll be honest with you. Cards are great, business use cases, but if you want that B2B space situation, the stickers are just another thing. And we literally sold them in slabs like this, basically. But,
Yeah, they
it's
look familiar. They look familiar. I think you gave me one back in Dallas.
yeah. Oh yeah. I had
Yeah.
some with me. I was just using them. I was chopping the tops off of them because I couldn't really be going into all of it and everything. But yeah, like honestly, I got a bag of cards and keychains and wristbands, all sorts of NFC things. But anyway, we have an coming out about this. I'm not going to talk about it. You're not going to get me to talk about it, okay? And for starters, but it is something I'm very keenly interested in because I promise you, I am one of the first 5 people in the world that were talking about this a good 5-6 years ago or something. But yeah, we'll say
I love what you do,
we'll save that for another day.
Yep, definitely. I'm sure we'll have a follow up on this, mate. I love what you do. If there is like a nerd in the community that takes the first spot, for me, it's you. Like, and I mean it in a good way.
Yeah, I get
I you're really so entrenched in the development of apps and everything that you do now. And we had meeting prior to recording this now, where we chatted about. You were showing me everything about the Level Up marketplace, and it's just incredible. So I just want to say, like, well done. This is the future.
Cheers.
You said it.
I mean, it is the future. It is the apps. The word apps is the future of high level with just anything you're going to want to try and achieve. Like any problem you have, you're going to find an app to find the solution. Like the ideas board, obviously, are the native products of what you get in GHL and everything, and it's like a very big part of it ultimately. But we've solved problems that have been on the ideas board for over a year or over 2 years in some cases, and people need to know that they can get them from the App Store. And I think it's just kind of like one of those things that isn't really aware to people that just get it from the App Store. Anyway, there's so much more coming to it. We can talk about those in detail as we go today.
One interesting thing with that is obviously, high level tends to not have things, and then they do develop them later, which kind of makes some things that third-party providers created make them maybe a little obsolete. Do you worry about that?
No. Like, one, you got development time. Like we work quite quick in the sense of that we don't have to have as much of the red tape that you might expect with GHL being GHL. So I lean on that as like we're quite agile in making quick solutions for situations that can make months of problems. And ultimately, once we provide the solution, things are working, and our solutions do come with a rebilling scenario that benefits the agency and ultimately can also benefit the client because they're not going to have to pay expensive fees to things like Zapier or other automation platforms. It puts us in a nice spot. If we were to build out, say, a big core product, like we were asked to build a webinar application, there are quite a lot of other webinar applications out there in the world, but also, not that I knew anything until I knew something, we should say, but my gut would be that High Level would create their own webinar core product ultimately. So there are small applications that we can provide a lot of value for that, sure, they might copy them, but they're only small to me, so it's not hard work for us to get them, and it gets a good result for the users and everyone's happy in that kind of situation. And if GHL does the same thing, then so be it. It's part of the environment that you're in. And like, if you look at things like Amazon launched Amazon Basics, and, they do their own thing as well. And you kind of got to think about it in a kind of census like that, ultimately. That'd be my way of looking at it, at least.
Oh, 100%. And mate, I mean, I know we talked about it. You had, one thing that has been difficult for you is for the agency owners to be able to really grasp with the marketplace, really be able to comprehend the value of it. Have you figured out the best way to explain what it is?
Yeah, I think the simplest way is it's a solutions library. Like, if I was to give it 2 words, solution library is the one that I lean on, because anybody who has a problem, you will find the solution in their marketplace is the way that I look at it, because you're not going to find the solution ultimately from going to the ideas board and asking for the idea and then maybe getting it X amount of time later. And obviously...
And hoping that you get upvotes, which you can promote through the community on the Facebook group, right?
And there's all those conversations too. So, you can look outside of GHL. And this is the thing. The last 5 years or so, GHL has been predominantly buy something from an external company. There are plenty of them out there. and you go to their website and you purchase it, and then you might copy paste something, do some scripting and all this kind of stuff. And that's just a thing of the past. And that's the direction that it's heading. HighLevel wants all the snapshot builders in the marketplace. They want all the template builders in the marketplace. They want all the third-party developers in the marketplace. They want all of their new integrations in the marketplace, right? Everything is marketplace, right? So when you were a new, you got to think it helps everyone at GHL. Like if you're new to GHL, I've spoken to, freshers, we could call them for the fun of it. And they don't know of many of the other surrounding companies that have all the additional benefits that you can bring to GHL. And GHL is giving all of those people like myself ultimately, the opportunity to really be in front of those people from day one. And that is one view that you might want to have of the marketplace for people like myself ultimately. But for all the users of HighLevel, it's a one-stop shop of the things and any of the things that you can do to GHL that GHL hasn't done themselves. And they're there to solve problems that are specifically niched, specifically complicated, specifically fun, potentially something that GHL wouldn't really go into. So
yeah. Let's go specific in particular, because I know that some might be listening and they must still not get it. Like for me in particular, what I love is what you showed me the other day is how you can have custom workflow actions.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific example, like use case that you might want to share?
Well, in consideration that we've made over 1,000 of them, better have one, I would say, yeah. And that's kind of me patting myself. That's me and patting myself on the back at the same. But no, I mean we did one yesterday. I thought this is the funny thing for me. This is funny for me, right? Most people not for many other people, but for me it's fun. So on the ideas board, there's an idea there like, hey, can we do math operations please with custom values? I want the data of my math operation to be saved into a custom value, right? We've got a free app, it's called the Numbers tool, okay? Anyone can use it to do math operations, number things. We round off numbers, we do things like this. And ultimately, that application, you've just got a simple little action inside of there where you're able to add one number to the other number, and then you can use the output and save it into another action where you update the custom value. And, GHL's got over 100 people asking for that. They've been trying to do it for 6 months or something more. And we've got the app ready, ages ago. I made a quick post about it and a quick video because someone was like asking me about it. And then all of a sudden, there must have been 3 or 4 other people that then made some posts in the community and on their own Facebooks just because they'd been begging for this kind of simple solution for ages. And it boosts up the rebilling situation of the agency because they got all the capability there. But it's a real simple little capability when we've built some really interesting other applications that can do all sorts of things.
Hang on a minute. So I just wanted to ask, follow up on that.
Yep.
So, because I know there's already a native action,
Math
workflow
operation,
action by HighLevel, right? And that lets you add and subtract. So how's your different?
So if you were to add and subtract things with the native one, you're not able to then, say if you just do a simple thing, 5 plus 5, and you need the value 10, you need that value 10 saved into a custom value, not into a custom field, okay?
Right, you can do it in a custom field, but you can't do it in a custom value.
Yeah, but our math operation will allow you to do it with any data. See, the thing is the native actions from GHL sometimes come a little bit restricted because the concept of those actions are to work specifically within the internal native area of HighLevel. So when you bring in third-party applications, they are meant to work with any data inside of the workflow builder, okay? So it's one cool thing to kind of think about is like, if I'm a little restricted on the native things on GHL, I want to be able to have the freedom for absolutely anything to happen with the data. You're going to get that out of having, workflow actions and triggers, the premium from applications like we bring, basically.
And that's important because we're all agency owners and we work with diverse range of businesses and they all have unique
freedom
needs, right?
Freedom. Put it into one word. Freedom. I can't do a Scottish accent, but it'd be fun. It honestly just comes down to freedom. Like, you are restricted sometimes to how GHL think that they want and how they want you to do things and what, you got to do with those things. Honestly, applications just give you the freedom to do whatever you want. If you're like, just so you understand, all of the native actions that you have in GHL, we have apps that replicate every single native action. And what that gives you the freedom of is that, and sometimes in some of the actions that you have on HighLevel, you might have like a drop down where you might need to select something, but instead you might need to, say, dynamically add some data there instead from something else that happened further up the workflow. We give you complete freedom to work with every native action, let alone all the ones that are a little bit extra and custom. And then you start having the conversations of like having all of the ClickUp or Stripe or Monday or GPT or all the other kind of integrations out there, and you start bringing in anything and everything into your workflows, and ultimately your workflows then start turning into a bit of a Zapier conversation ultimately.
Yeah, that's what's my next question is. What's amazing about this is that you can essentially get rid of Zapier and do everything natively within a workflow for your client, which makes it easier from a programming standpoint. I assume less chance of having issues of things breaking.
It doesn't really change those things, really. What it gives you is like, let's talk about some of the benefits you get from the conversion of saying, I'm not going to use Zapier anymore. Number one, you sometimes will end up on Zapier and you will get so far down the road and you end up being like, oh crap, I need some new action that they haven't got, or they haven't updated the API or whatever's happening. With us, it's very, very simple. You message onto our support channel, or you can request an update, and we will get those apps updated for you ASAP. Okay, we replicate pretty much everything you can find on Zapier, but there are plenty of situations where I've found that agencies would maybe swap from Zapier to another automation platform that are out there simply because they've got more up to date. Our job as an app provider, especially providing it to the agencies and clients of the agencies, is to make sure that you have those capabilities. Why people pay us to be part of the Level Up membership or the Level Up apps unlimited situation, is because we are there to support you on that journey of making sure you get those automations complete. The other component of it ultimately, and it's the biggest one out of everything, is Zapier doesn't pay you. Doesn't really pay or benefit the client in such. I mean, it's just a money-sucking machine is one way to look at it. And, with the marketplace and with these actions and with the GHL structure of everything, you get to resell and you get to, generate your own profit. You can say each one of those actions when the client would use, it's going to cost 1 cent, which is 4 times cheaper than the basic cost of Zapier. And then from there, the agency can go, okay, well, I'm going to charge 2 cents, which is half the price of Zapier. Okay. Client's happy with that. You're happy. You're doubling your money. And, for every 500 interactions or every 1,000 interactions, you're making yourself $10, $20 in profit. A little wrong, so one of those numbers was correct. One of those numbers was roughly correct. So there's not like something that I don't think. I was talking with someone else last night, and they asked me a question of like, why the HighLevel marketplace? Why are you building apps for the HighLevel marketplace? And it does come to that conversation of the reselling. Like, it benefits me developing on HighLevel because I get the capability to be able to have be part of an ecosystem, a marketplace that will benefit me as much as it will benefit the buyers, the agencies, as much as it will benefit the purchasers, which are the clients. And nothing else out there does it for you. And I mean, just quick math for you, just so you can understand the scale of the benefit here on this conversation, is like an agency I was chatting to earlier last week. They told me that they're paying about $4,500 in Zapier bills, things like this for their clients. I explained the way that I found just roughly on the math, just to talk about, is half the number, okay, and then half that number again. That's what the last half that you just came up with, or a quarter basically, is what you're going to end up paying, and the other quarter is the profit ultimately you can make from it. So it's quite substantial, really, especially if you have quite a lot of accounts and things. Like, you will be rebilling out with tens of thousands of dollars of profit ultimately. And I'm very
Yes.
excited to see where we end up with all of these things over the next year or two with HighLevel, because like I've had chats with the marketing team and other departments of HighLevel about, you know, the roadmap of what we're bringing for the marketplace and things like this. There's some great educational material that's coming, I can tell you, and there's some reward situations in place. So soon agencies will have like a little dashboard where you're going to be able to be like, oh, I'm making so much money from selling apps, you know. And like GHL, like, just so you talk about apps as quickly, like selling things, but you know, like the WordPress and the X stuff and the unlimited chatbot and the WhatsApp and all the core products that GHL allows you to like upsell, resell, cross-sell and all that. It's all the same kind of situation. Like they should be in the marketplace, I imagine, by the end of the year, and ultimately will be a upsell, cross-sell situation from the marketplace, as much as they'll also be found in some other areas of the GHL platform because they're core products, ultimately. But yeah, it's the only marketplace that allows for any of this to happen. And it benefits everyone. It's going to change a lot of how the world starts to now look at automation, plumbing, and all of this kind of situation. It's a big part of every. I don't think there's a single agency out there that hasn't had to use an automation platform like Zapier or something to potentially finish off some of the situations you have to use inside of GHL. You know.
100%. So a couple of things here. Number one, what I'm most excited about here, or what I love about this, what you provide, is that essentially, and this is for you, talking to you guys right now, is you essentially get to have a developer in your corner for free, essentially. Right?
Yeah, in some
like if you put, well, I should clarify their costs, right? But put it this way, like if you had to hire a team of developers that you go to build your apps on demand as you need them, you would have to have a huge capital outlay, right? Right now, with what you've got with you and your team, it is in your interest to develop these apps because then you disperse them to the rest of the marketplace. And so you've got a pretty genius business model where you've made it so that and let me get this right. Not only myself as an agency owner can request apps or new features,
clients,
but also my clients.
Clients can too.
Which makes management even easier. They don't have to talk to me about it.
And your clients can talk to the Level Up Marketplace support portal. It's not branded Level Up Marketplace or white label, by the way, but we handle support for your clients regarding applications. So like if your client needs help with utilizing the ClickUp app, or, you know, maybe they got a problem and they're like, you know, oh, can I get an app that can maybe help me with this kind of situation? You have choice as an agency with what we provide to show them what apps you want to show them and show them what apps you don't want to show. I mean, I suggest to every agency that they should install to all of their accounts the tool that we give you, because the tools don't have really any complication when it comes to like API key onboard situation. And the tools are just there to help you with things like the math operations I mentioned earlier as examples. Very simple. 5 + 5 = this. And yeah, you can do that with the basic math operations, but if you need a little bit more freedom where you want those numbers going to and where, then you get that opportunity with what we give, basically. But yeah, we do handle all the support situations. We handle the requests from all of your clients, FAQs. And we have 500 odd videos that help people with understanding the actions and triggers and things that we have as part of our apps as well. So yeah, I mean, like just talking about the costs and things you said about the apps there a second ago. I mean, you know, we offer a subscription for $129 where you can get access to all of our apps, right? And unlimited locations, unlimited whatever, however you want to put it. Like I don't even sound excited as it is. It's unlimited.
It is freaking exciting, mate.
Sorry. For me, my brain just goes to, oh yeah, and we've got next week's apps coming, next month's apps coming, and like it's unlimited. There's a lot of apps. My brain just keeps thinking about the apps we're building. So I'm always just kind of like going, yeah, it's unlimited plus more, plus whatever else we come out with. It is truly just, you know, all of it. And it helps us by having this out there for you. It helps you by having it. But just to say, like, we have over 100 requests of people saying, hey, I'd love this integration. I'd love this tool. Hey, can I have this? Hey, can we have this? And we tackle as many as we possibly can. We've got a team of 40 staff that are working behind me, you know, going through the roles of it. But we also do offer what I call prime delivery, which is dependent on your application, you know, $1,000 will get it done most probably in like 5 days in most
Right,
cases.
if you want to expedite something.
If you want to go on to the top.
And that's really important to know, right? Because if I'm dealing with a big client, if I take on a big client and they've got some unique needs, and they pay me, big high ticket per month, well, that's really good to know that I've got that back pocket as an option.
Yeah, and the thing is, like we've had this already from different people we've done expedited apps or prime apps for, basically, is you're able to, as an agency, and I think this is just something, I don't know, maybe it helps some smaller agencies on their starting road and they need a certain integration or something. But when someone would pay, say, the $1,000 for an application to get developed in like quickly 5 days, I need a client, blah, blah, blah. You're able to split that cost if you want to with another agency. Like, because when we make the application, it'll be available for all other agencies as well. We don't mind if people want to crowdsource the fact that they both need this ASAP situation. So it is about the community and bringing together what we can and working together as businesses in a nice ecosystem. And, we can't do every app for like $1,000. Some apps just take a little bit more time and, money in that case. But, we try our best to make it as something that benefits the GHL verse, as I refer to it.
Yeah, 100%. Let's just clarify that costing again. So you've got a fixed amount that agencies get paid monthly, and that gives them access to all the apps that you now have and all the apps that you'll ever have, right? I think quoting you what you said.
Yes.
Now, what's important to distinguish here, and this for you guys, is that there is additional cost for each workflow actions as they run, but that's
nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with you. That's what HighLevel charges. But you get to
rebuild.
Make.
You
get to rebuild.
A quick conversation on that rebuilding situation. I think on the math, and this is why I get a little confused with it. But if you're running 10 to 20 locations and you're running a double up on the rebuilding, you're running between 500 to 1,000 people through one workflow with just one action inside of it, then you're going to make more money rebilling your clients for what I've supplied you than what you're paying me to have, just to be really clear on that.
And now putting my business hat on, this now opens up a whole new door of business models.
Yeah.
Because now you're no longer bound to just sell high ticket, a recurring subscription for your unique and that you supply with some unique, bespoke workflows. You could make your subscription lower, knowing that in your unique workflows that you then offer to the end clients, you've got this many workflow actions, and you do your math, you're going to make the money on the back end. So that makes the front end more appealing and exponentially growth because now even like the saying like, hey, this Mr. Client, like your growth is in my interest. Now it's truly in your interest because more customers, they sign up, more workflow actions will be run, more money you'll make on the rebilling. So it's a genius business model.
Barrier to entry gets a lot simpler if you are having to run these kind of actions, because ultimately you can give the account a lot cheaper. If you know that person has a lot of data and they're going to be running a lot of workflows and you'll have to use some custom actions inside of it, be Zapier. Don't like Zapier, they charge you based on the amount of interactions. They don't really charge. They're not really interested in charging you access. They give you free access. They just want your card so they can bill you for the amount of executions you're doing. Be more like Zapier would be the kind of situation. I'm not trying to change around anyone's business models, but if you start having a clients like those situations, be like them. Because they're your client. If you're already paying the Zapier bill, or your client's already paying the Zapier bill, and you're able to make that cheaper, but actually benefit you in a profit kind of state. And ultimately, the more they use it, the more you're making, which could be so much more than ultimately just having a quick $100 subscription. You may as well invest into your clients utilizing your platform more and more and more than worrying about having that fixed fee each month and possibly letting them churn. Because if you know the utilization and the rebillings going through, absolutely zero chance you're going to have churn happening ultimately. And I mean, just on this, just talking about this, but your t-shirt, you're the all-in-one. This is just a thing I say personally, but HighLevel is an all-in-one, right? You start using it and it becomes a complete solution. And that's kind of my line in the sense of kind of like, converting yourself from an all-in-one situation to a complete situation. There's nothing you can't get done with apps. The way to think of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we already discussed, I was mentioning I work with some of the gyms, and they like to work with particular different fitness providers for managing their memberships, right? And some of them do have open API. And so we already in talks about work together, right?
Yeah.
Coming up with an app that makes it more streamlined. So
send me your API documentation. It's like dinner for me. It's food.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. So, if you need get some stuff done, working with some unique industries, right? There's so many different. I know there's like some unique software that tradies use in America, White Rhino, whatever that's called. I can't remember.
We've had like of like types and things. We've had quite an influx of like people asking for tradie apps, as you refer to them. But we've had things like SimPro, ServiceMate, Aeroflow, Jobber. There's one other one. I can't remember its name. There's two others. There's one I can't mention. There's one that I can mention. I can't remember its name. But yeah, we've had quite an influx on tradie type applications. It's really interesting sometimes as a developer for the applications. We do get an insight into like certain communities and groups of niches of businesses for GHL. Like we had a bit of an influx on some real estate applications going back a few months ago.
That's right, because they use the database of property database thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have a little more. We had a little more of a creative application that was a little bit cool. We haven't completed it. We're beta testing it with one or two people at the moment. But there's an AI service out there that allows real estate agents to basically take empty photos of the property, and they want to AI insert staging into the property, so it has all the furniture tables and all the pictures.
Mate,
and
I've got a friend. She runs this business in Australia, right? A real estate, sellers. Yeah. They hire them out, and you go and they fit out the whole place with beautiful sofas, everything. So now what this could do is literally
just take that out. Take that out. It's a really simple way of doing it as well, because the way that it's distributed and legit done. This is because of us tricking out the app to work for the high level market is the way to think about it. But we've made it so that like as an agency, you can say, each sub account can only do 10 photos a month. And if they need more, they need to pay to be able to do more, because ultimately it costs the agency to have the capability to have the insertion of the AI situation. So, it's really interesting what kind of applications you can get. I mean, that app has absolutely nothing to do with actions or triggers or anything else we mentioned earlier today. And it's literally just a web application that just gets pushed through kind of like a custom menu link scenario. So, with that way that some agencies are utilizing to agencies, but the utilize it in the sense of that each sub account is a property, and then the other one's using it as like each sub account is an estate agent. So, it's good just to try and make sure that we try and cover a few things. I think there are quite a few estate agents on HighLevel. I met quite a few of them at the Level Up event in October, which I hope everyone has a ticket for, because I'll be.
Oh yeah, definitely, guys, you gotta go. It's so good, so good. You seem to generally like provide a ton of value and generally care about helping our community. Have you? I mean, you've done other things. From distributing many pages for free to the chatbot community. Have you always been like that?
Do you wanna go back in the day and get some proper background if you want on it?
Yeah, mate. Dive into it.
So some of the things you mentioned, I think you mentioned Italian bag company, which I'm really interested how you found that word. But anyway, so my background is my family. We used to have about 150 stores across the nation in the UK. And my father's done maybe 1,500 stores in his lifetime or something. And ultimately, I've been brought up in a very much wholesale retail environment, you could say, working hard and stuff like this. So by the time I was between the ages of 18 and 23, I was able to have myself about 25 stores myself. Started going into wholesale, started supplying about 500 stores across the United Kingdom and a few others around the world and stuff. And my life has always been quite a lot of product development, and from designing handbags and purses to, women's fashion to apparel. And you'd find me in and out of China once a quarter. You'd find me in and out of Italy once a month or bi-weekly at some points. And the reason why I'm kind of going on about this is that like the marketplace of HighLevel is very much a situation of that you need to be able to wholesale and supply scenarios through that, and you think like Amazon. And my life has very much been about that in the senses of how I need to generate a team, a manufacturing line of application, generate a manufacturing line of bags and scarves, and you go on about it and everything. But I personally just find myself uniquely positioned in my own mental way, I guess, of thinking the GHL marketplace is a way that I look at things like how I've worked with Amazon before, with all the things that we've imported and exported around the world, really. So I looked at it as I moved away from physical retail and physical online when we started doing some online retail with, the Italian bag company thing. And, those things really kicked off. And it's where I found my first interest in the digital marketing aspect of things around 2023-ish or something like that. And I mean, my first online e-com store, I mean, I've done quite a few. And, if I talk about all my brothers and things, you'll have a laugh with all the things we've been up to. It went off very well, did 6 figures in the first 3 months on our first Shopify store, going back a decade ago, pretty much. And, I've had plenty of fun things like that. And, I can understand all the logistical problems when it comes to having a warehouse and doing all of your pack inventory and, all of those things. And I just take all the same skill set and I apply it to the digital aspect of everything and allow myself to have a much quicker turnaround on converting, let's just say, a yellow scarf into a pinker scarf, because that's what the people want. If you can kind of understand my abbreviation to people want to add things in the workflow. But yeah, I mean, just go back even weirder, further back if you want, just technology-wise. I don't want you thinking it was something I picked up when I was 23.
Man, people love stories. People love stories, so let's go.
I was 10 years old. I'm in primary school. We're talking back in the days, guys, when computers were using 3D floppies, if you know what they are. And I coded my first website when I was like 9 or 10 years old. And I won't tell you what I did with that website, but I got told off. That's all I can tell. I got told off by the school teacher for doing something I shouldn't have done on the website. But yes, I've always been keenly interested in many, many, many situations in technology. So it's been a thing since I was 9, since I could really understand the keyboard, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I told you quite a bit there, kind of going back quite a bit of things, but you've touched on a few things. So I feel like it's only fair that I give you it.
No, that's great, mate. I would actually have a follow-up question on that.
Yeah,
kind of answered it, but maybe I'll ask you anyway. What's one lesson like from your time running the Italian bag company that you still apply to your tech ventures today?
What, like a special one or
tactical, strategical?
It's all about the manufacturing line. But that's something I could say ultimately. Like, my responsibility is to have a good quality and good fast turnaround manufacturing line, and I treat the business a little bit like that in some concepts if we're talking about those things. That is basically making sure you got a really great team, make sure people are well educated, make sure people are well supported, make sure you got all the right equipment, and not allowing for any loose screws to not allow you to get maximum output from that vicinity of things. I mean, I talked to some people, I'll be honest with you, in the most recent days and weeks of things, and people are just genuinely amazed with the quantity of things and, the quantity and the quality of things that we have. And then the questions usually come up with, why don't I know more about this? And it's usually because the only problem I have in my manufacturing line, I think, is we don't make enough videos about what we do because we're so focused on building product. And that says a lot about me, if you understood what I just said about prior, with the factor of, I'm used to kind of like going to big events and selling wholesale and selling to, hundreds of new situations. And the HighLevel situation, I think, is something I need to kind of work on a bit with some of our marketing videos and explainer videos and kind of like telling agencies. But it's kind of like a two-sworded blade with that situation as well, because we have apps that are on the app marketplace for HighLevel, right? HighLevel App Marketplace is open to all the users of HighLevel that go to the Go HighLevel domain. People buy our apps from there. And then there's the conversation of white label agencies. And white label agencies have a little bit of they have emotions around the app marketplace on what's right and what's wrong. So we have this other product, which is the unlimited stuff, which is the 129 thing we mentioned earlier. And that's where the white label agencies kind of get what they need from us because it works better with how their logistics and their implementation works. And that again, comes back to what I was kind of talking earlier with how we want to make sure we get the right products and we get the right situation for the different audience members of HighLevel with how we can embed everybody with application. So yeah, you've touched on some really interesting stuff here, Vit. I've got to be honest, it's been one of the better chit chats I've had out of all of the chit chats I've had for a while.
Oh, great! I appreciate it. I'm glad. Mate, you've mentioned one example of a very powerful app. If you guys have if you can be creative enough to think at math operations, I think that's powerful. But if you had to give like a Rolodex of say 5 to 10,
you want some of the more interesting apps. You want some interesting ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So the number tool, that's it's not new, but that one helps you. Simple solutions are the most loved ones I find. Funny. We have an app called the link shortener, right? Link will allow you to generate a short link, right, out of a real long ass link. And, you could put inside of there all your custom field variables that go to like a page or something. But our link shortener, what it'll allow you to do is actually to generate multiple links per contact. So if you ever need to, you can always go back and update the link with a new value of a custom field if you ever need to. So it allows you to have truly a little bit of like a CMS situation. So that one's pretty useful. We have the other contact app. That one's pretty cool. Imagine that you have, let's say, a contact ID inside of a custom field on a contact already going through, maybe in like an affiliate situation, or you've kind of like done a parent-child, if you know what I'm talking about with that. And the thing is with the workflow builder, you go down the workflow and, if you just imagine a little person traveling down the line, it's Rupert. Rupert's traveling down the little line. He hits the action, something happens, and it's happening with Rupert. But in the other contact app, you don't want the action to happen with Rupert. You want the action to happen with Tim, who is the contact ID that is a part of Rupert. You can now work with multiple contacts in the workflow by being able to use the other contact app. So if you need to send a workflow to the other contact, not the original Rupert walking down the line, you can ping it off, which is a really useful little one.
Use case for that would be, and straight away, parents and kids. I work with a lot of martial arts club schools. Parents buy trials for their kids, and trying to attribute certain things and trigger off certain communication.
Usually it comes down to like we've had use cases of people buying and selling leads because the lead gets attributed to someone or something of this nature. There's also like another situation of like affiliate marketing. Like I know GHL has an affiliate product and things, but sometimes you need something a little bit more minimal or maybe a little more customizable, and you can get into works with those things with the other contact app. Another one which is pretty fun, and we did this one in 12 hours because I just wanted to show off when I was at the GHL UK event. Someone asked me at dinner, and then I was like at lunch, I was like, here, it's one of those things I like to be like, come to me, don't go to the ideas board. And this was one little thing where I'm sometimes just like, look at how powerful my distribution line is. I will get you this in 12 hours. It's like that's me. What's it called? Dashboard tools, custom dashboard metrics tools. I think we've changed the name on it once or twice. But what this will allow you to do is this one's really interesting. Imagine you've got data that you want to get onto the dashboard. You all use the dashboard from GHL, and you've got this cool new feature where you're able to create your own dashboards, multiple dashboards, control all your data on there. So the dashboard tool, what that's going to allow you to do is it'll put an action in your workflow. And it's going to allow you to add or subtract information from the dashboard. So you can put your own custom widget up on the dashboard. And then in the workflow builder, you're able to say to that widget, go higher or lower by any amount that you want it to. So the fun thing you're able to do here is that there are certain data sets that you can't access on the dashboard. Okay, so memberships is one of them, for instance. You don't know how many people you have in a membership in lesson 1, lesson 2, or whatever things you You can literally just use this app, set it up, and it will just start telling you the membership details. The other fun thing about it is that you could utilize it, say, for party data. So, like, say you use the Stripe app that we have. and you wanted to listen for like failed subscriptions or maybe money just coming into the account or something like this, you're able to take the third-party data and it into the dashboard because you've captured it from another app and you've put it into your dashboard with the dashboard tool app. So, you can use the math operations. You can create averages that you could then put up on the dashboard as well. So some pretty unique, fun, nifty things you could do with that. Apart from that, the Stripe app's been really popular. ClickUp app's been quite popular.
Tell me about this ClickUp app, because I use ClickUp a lot for a whole bunch of stuff.
Do you want to hear a story from an agency that we helped out? This lady was working with a pool renovation company, and they wanted to be able to have the situation of creating a task when the client would purchase, and then ultimately what they needed to do is to create subtasks for that main task that was created from, let's say, the purchase event, right? We gave them the capability so that you could run all your create tasks, or you create subtasks, add all the dates, assign all the people, could do all the usual things. You just do it in the workflow builder. But what was a little unique is that we were able to, when we create the main task, the parent task, we were able to obviously get the ID of the task, right? And then what we did is we used a GHL form, and we were able to get that ID of the task, attach it to the URL of the form, take the entire URL with now the parent task ID, make it part of the description of ClickUp task. So if you ever wanted to add a subtask to parent task, you could do it by filling in the form. Now, I don't know how much you use ClickUp, but you can create forms for ClickUp that will create parent tasks, but there are no forms to create child or subtasks, okay? So we gave a dynamic scenario where you could combine a bit of GHL form logic with some of the workflow logic to be able to allow the pool team to be able to put those correct subtasks as part of the main task. And it kind of came down to a conversation of, do they want orange tiles or pink tiles or blue tiles, or do they want red water or green water, or whatever else decisions you make when you come to a pool, basically. But it made life a lot simpler because, the expectation of being able to do the subtask forms situation and then having that link available as something that you could then send to the client so they could then fill out subtasks, not main tasks, to their own project task. So it did quite well. She was very happy. She mentioned us quite a lot in the community. Done some fun, quite a bit. It's nice.
I like
it's
that.
nice when those things happen.
That's great. There's always going to be use case for these things. So now, I don't know if this is behind the scene news that you told me the other day, or if whether the cat is out of the bag already, but there's some interesting stuff happening with snapshots, which is my big game, which is what I offer.
So, like I kind of touched on it earlier, snapshots are going to be part of the marketplace. Everything is going to be in the marketplace. It was last week that we even said that, if you go to settings, you go to integrations, marketplace. It's all like some things are going to get removed and put in the marketplace. Whole template stores go into the marketplace. But yeah, snapshots are going to be in the marketplace. And what this means for snapshot sellers is that you're going to be able to put your snapshot available to all agencies from day one when they log in and they visit the marketplace. Okay. And the other additional benefit, and you understand, so I don't think I mentioned this, so I'm going to go back a little further on some of the things. Like I've done a lot of time traveling, I feel, with you today, so we'll keep it up. But ManyChat did a big old competition for building templates. I don't know if you ever seen that or heard of that one, but no. They did a $100,000 giveaway for basically building snapshots, and their version of it is called templates, right? I got a first and second prize award for affiliate marketing snapshots and loyalty marketing snapshots, basically. And the one problem with selling those snapshots is that an agency would come along, they would purchase it, and then I would never really see them again. It was kind of hard to keep up some kind of residual income to come in from these things, and constant innovation of it, and constant expectation for the innovation of them, but never any consistency on coming in from the agencies. Now, the one thing that I had was that the reason why like my snapshot template, whatever, won back in the day was because we were doing before apps were even available on ManyChat. And like, if we're talking about ManyChat just ever so quickly, about 50% of apps on the ManyChat store are either built by or with myself. Okay. So the solution that GHL is bringing, and again, it goes back to what I'm talking about earlier with the ecosystem, is that you as a snapshot builder now are going to be able to say to an agency, hey, pay me $100 and you have access to this snapshot. But also, if you do install this snapshot into a location, I'm going to charge you $10 a month. Okay. So now as a snapshot builder, you're going to be able to actually build a business as being someone as a provider for snapshots to be able to allow for agencies to do the thing that they need to do more. And it's the thing that GHL would like the agencies to do more, and that's to make sales. You know, they want you to be selling snapshot sub-accounts, basically. And all of the things that you need to be able to make that journey simpler, faster, you know, all those situations is all coming into the marketplace. So your snapshots, your apps are there. And the thing is, snapshots can even include apps inside them because they are an app. They are an app. That's the thing. The snapshot, it's an, you know, the last word is an app. Integration app, script app, this app, right? So a snapshot app can come with not just a snapshot, but it can come with all the custom actions and triggers that we were talking about. It could come with the little dashboard tool that we make. So, you know, I'm a massive believer in this kind of stuff because I was doing it before even GHL existed, you understand, with like ManyChat and other things before that. And, you know, it's going to really break GHL in a good way, you know, like break the internet situation, because all of a sudden, most probably in the space of a month, all of the best snapshotters are going to be on there, right? All of a sudden, everyone's just going to be telling everyone, go and buy it from the snapshot because it's a better model for them to be selling on the marketplace than it is to be selling.
It's a bit of a longer game too. You don't get much upfront, but long term, you make lot more money. You could potentially.
You open the scope up for volume. And it's something that's
and the other thing, just jumping there. The other thing I like there is that it actually creates more, what's the word? Responsibility over the quality of the snapshots, because now you're more invested in continuing to provide, you know, an up-to-date, really well-working snapshot, because you get to continue to make money with every single sub-account that the underlying agency continues to open.
Exactly. That's all it can really be put into. You know, it just everything is getting better with it, from the responsibility of all the people involved in all of their little, in all the seats that everyone sits in the line, all the way to the client ultimately. You know, people just think it's agency client, and I'm like, nah, there's at least another 5 people in those chairs on the way to the client. Yeah, I mean, the snapshot part of the store is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm really excited for it because we've got some new little products that are coming out specifically made for snapshot builders. And I mean, like, another part of why the ManyChat thing that we made that worked so well is some of the reasons of why some of the other best snapshot builders have got great snapshots, and that comes down to the onboarding of the snapshot. And a lot of people, I'm sure, have utilized or been aware of like a custom value form situation. Like, we have an app that does that, where you can put these forms into your locations, update the custom values, makes a snapshot quick on the onboard situation. We're going to provide that same situation, but for the snapshot providers of the marketplace. So what will happen is, as a snapshot provider, you're going to allow for an onboard experience that can help any location found in the GHL verse, basically, instead of that one-to-one connection that you have with agency and the locations of that agency. It will be you as the snapshot builder providing the onboard experience you need for every agency in every location that comes into your account ultimately. And, you know, I look forward to what comes out of this situation, because we've already got an early bird participant into that application. And also they need another integration, another one of our apps, Zoom, to be able to make their snapshot great, because their snapshot, just like many of the other people going all the way to the ManyChat days, they would get so far with their flow and then they would have to zap out. They would have to go and do the other integrations outside of GHL. And it was part of the snapshot is the expectation that you would need a Zapier account to be able to run the additional things. You don't need that. Just come ask me. Come ask me. I'll give you the extra actions and the extra things you need inside of there to make it so it's the best. We'll get you all sorted out with the onboard form situation, and it co-promotes like the integrational components of what we put into applications, and it promotes your ingenuity and IP around the snapshot component. So it really, really brings in best of all the worlds, ultimately. I don't want to, by the way, like just talking about it, but I don't want to get into snapshot building like I was. I mean, I might do one or two, but we are going to provide snapshots, but for like some of our apps, they're going to be more like recipes if you use the automation builder, where they're just quick things to start you off on your utilization of our apps and triggers, because there is quite a dense part of what we provide that is involved in that area, basically.
Right.
Sorry, I have been info dumping quite a lot, but you've had some really interesting conversation, really interesting bits to kind of talk about, I'd have to say, and you got some good questions or answers out to me, whichever way you want to look at it, I feel.
My job is to convey that message to the rest of the audience here, the rest of the listeners that listen to us today. So, I always like to think that there are people listening that are maybe more, experienced. They've been around in the community for a while, but I also think there's a lot of new people coming in. So this is what the mission of this podcast has always been, is to spread the good word, let people more informed, continue educating people about all the amazing opportunities, options, strategies, tactics, ultimately to help everybody, raise the bar and grow everybody's agencies, and then we all benefit because the quality keeps going up. We all benefit.
Yeah. We were talking quite a bit here, but I got one last thing just to mention, just for it, because we kind of nearly touched on it, but I was 50-50 to mention it or not. But we've got two missions at the Level Up Marketplace. We kind of mentioned it slightly with the snapshot chit chat a second ago, but our first mission is that we want to be the first development agency to reach 1 million downloads for our apps. We're nearly at 100,000 at the moment. That's like 100,000 locations that are using our apps now. Our goal our mission is to reach 1 million downloads. When we reach 1 million downloads, like I've requested GHL to do this, and I'm quite pushy, you would say, maybe on this subject with them, but I've requested that they do a snapshot competition, right? Because I think it would bring some great creativity to the market and kind of also bring massive awareness to the marketplace. Okay. So I don't know if they're going to do it. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to be asking and pushing them to do it, I promise you. But I am going to be running a competition myself. And we're thinking that our second mission, once we reach our 1 million downloads, is that we're going to do a $50,000 cash giveaway snapshot competition. So you can go find out. It is on our website. It has been put up there. So it is. You can see it on the website. So I'm not messing you about. I'm just saying this. But that is the goal that we want to be able to do. Mission 1, get to 1 million downloads. Make sure people are really in tune with the marketplace. Mission 2, bring together the community in a competition capability to bring out some different niches of what types of snapshots there are out there for different niches of the business and things that you can have. Look at some fun things. But competitions are great for this kind of stuff. I don't know if you saw the Google AI, I can't remember, Gemini competition. Did you see that?
No.
Basically, Google did a $1 million, you see $50,000, you're like, oh, but I mean, like, they did $1 million giveaway, right? Right? Did a quick competition, but they also, what's that car that you have in the Back to the Future? You know that car I'm talking about? Yeah, yes. That car. Anyway, that car. Yeah. They were also giving away one of those, plus a whole bunch of other things. So, I tried to tempt GHL and be like, hey, Google's making you look crap, guys. Like, I feel like GHL needs to do a competition. You're already giving away some cars and things. Let's spice it up and let's have a snapshot competition, because I think that'll be a lot of fun for the GHL community. But
in GHL's defense, guys, if you're new, HighLevel does have a competition for cars, just not for snapshots. So they have a really good competition for. So I think that's if you get 75 other agencies on 497 plan under you, then you qualify for either Tesla or one of those other really cool cars.
There's a Porsche I've seen on there which look cool.
Yeah, and it was really cool when we were in Dallas. They literally made those like cars parked by the entry to the Hilton Hotel.
I was going to say they had the cars outside the hotel when we were walking in, didn't they? But yeah, I won't be giving any cars away, guys. I mean, like I can stomach maybe 50,000, but we're not going to giving cars away. I ain't got Sean money.
Actually, I don't think the high level pays it outright either. I think they.
Oh, I don't know the details. I was just making a joke. That's it.
Let's wrap it up. This has been very insightful. We've covered so much. So, Rupert, thank you so much, mate. We're at the end of the episode today. We like to keep it to an hour, and apparently it's been told that ideal time format is apparently 20 to 40 minutes. But I'm like,
yeah, you can cut it. You can
hour.
cut this up if you want to. I don't mind. You can slice me down.
It's all good. I try to do minimal editing, but guys, Rupert, thank you so much for being on today's episode. You have an amazing product. You offer amazing service. There is so much more that runs through my head that I want to ask you. So, but there's only that much time in the world. So, if anybody wants to explore this opportunity and get on Level Up plugin, the Level Up marketplace to their agency, so that their end customers, their businesses that are signed up with them can use these apps, request for new apps, and feel like they've got a developer in their corner, where did they go? Tell us.
If they want to go and find anything, you need to go and have a look at the HighLevelExperience.com/Level Up Marketplace. From there, you can find absolutely everything that we've. Okay, it's like our product is just an unlimited situation of whatever we build. It's very uncomplicated, although I seem to get quite a lot of questions about it. And we just want to better everybody with how apps are going to affect you in the next 5 years, I guess.
Thank you so much, man. I'm in particularly very excited about the opportunity to explore the snapshots model.
I'll be there with you. We're going to be on calls talking about it. I'm going to make you one of the first 5 people on there.
I love it. So, mate, thank you so much once again. I know you're a busy guy, so we'll let you go. Guys, thank you as well. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode on the HighLevel Experience Podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode, then please share it with your fellow agency mates and other high levelers that you think would also benefit from listening. For show notes, links, and extra tips to help you grow your agency or your SaaS with high level, please go to HighLevelExperience.com. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day, everybody.